Stack here. Welcome back to the second last installment of the Service Advisor 101, a blueprint to becoming a high performing service advisor. Let's take you on a bit of a journey today, and we're moving to page 22, I believe. Yes, it is. And it's high performing service advisors operate out of a growth mindset. High performing service advisors operate out of a growth mindset. By now, you've likely noticed me referring to growth mindsets a few times. You have. I've mentioned it many, many times. High performers operate out of a growth mindset, not a fixed mindset. There is a stark difference between the two. People operating in a fixed mindset feel their abilities and talents are simply fixed traits and they cannot grow. Operating in a growth mindset is when you believe you never lose or fail. What you do is you either win or you learn. Which do you think is a better mindset to be in? Now, it's a bit of a rhetorical question, right? Because we all can recognize that the better mindset to be in is a growth mindset. Because if you're operating in a growth mindset, you know that you can always get better. You know that nothing is stagnant. You know that in every interaction that you have with a human or a situation, that you're going to learn from it. You don't have to win in every argument. You don't have to win in every situation. You will learn new things all the time. And if you operate in that growth mindset, it's far healthier to your mind, to your psychology, but it's also going to be more effective to your growth. Again, the opposite of a growth mindset is a fixed mindset where you feel that, well, it is what it is. I can't get better. Everything happens to me. This is just bad things happen to me, and it is what it is. No, bad things don't happen to you. Unfortunate things happen to you, and if you take a learning from it, you're going to be far more successful in what you do. So high performers operate out of the growth mindset, not a fixed mindset. And it's important that you can recognize this. We can all recognize people. Well, I'm going to tell you how to recognize people. We can recognize people who operate in a fixed mindset where they play a bit of a victim. Okay, so they'll go, oh, everything happens to me. Oh, nothing ever goes well for me. Oh, you always get the luck. Like that sort of a mindset. And it's just not positive. It's in many ways negative, and it is not healthy to the success of that individual. So it's important as a manager that if you can recognize that, you call it out for what it is and label it and go, hey, I recognize that you're operating in what we call a fixed mindset. There's opportunities to grow. We all make mistakes. Mistakes are just that, missed takes. And this was taught to me years ago where I'm like, oh, I make heaps of mistakes. Yes, mistakes are good things because it causes you to realize that you have missed that take. You can now grow from that, from the learning that you've just had to endure. And that's a good thing. If you look at it like it's a good thing, then you've won. It's a good thing. Or you learn. So let's talk about how we can reflect on this. How do you rate your ability to operate out of a growth mindset? Are you stuck in your ways? Are you a little bit fixed, or have you got a positive outlook on everything you do? Yes, you do get customers who are full on and you need to handle, and they're difficult to deal with. But are you glum afterwards? Are you low afterwards? Or do you go, do you know what? Yeah, is there things I would have done differently? Absolutely. Did I learn from it? Absolutely. Did I win? Perhaps. Now, again, the more you expose yourself to these difficult situations, and the more that you learn from them, and the more that you learn what to do and what not to do, the more that you get mentored or get feedback from someone who was listening afterwards, or the more that you expose yourself to or witness a manager dealing with these situations, the more effective you're going to be moving forward, as opposed to, oh, no, all customers are angry. Oh, all customers are disappointed. They're not. That's a fixed mindset. Operate out of a growth mindset and you will see your success accelerate. I can promise you that. It's far, far healthier. Dr. Carl Dweck wrote a book called Mindset, and it discusses these opportunities where people operate out of a fixed or a growth mindset. Now, don't get me wrong, there are still parts of what I do, not everything, but parts of what I do that I operate in a fixed mindset, and there's still room for me to grow. It's not binary, you're one or the other. It's not that. It's to what level of mindset do you operate within. It's important that you recognize growth, growth, growth. How can I look at this in a more positive light that I can now accelerate out of, as opposed to staying the same, or as opposed to feeling the victim, or as opposed to it feeling sorry for myself. So managers should influence their team or connect with their team and go, hey, I recognize these things. There's a couple of opportunities for you to improve, to increase this rating. How about you sit with me and we look for opportunities for you to deal with these situations moving forward? How about you see me interacting with this customer? How about you read that book Mindset by Dr. Carol Dweck? That these are ways that you can increase that rating, because you can get exposed to new information that you can then leverage and implement or utilize when these situations arise in the future. When are they going to arise? You don't know. I don't know. But if you're ready for it, if you're prepped for it by equipping this toolbox between your ears, that's when you know that you're going to be able for these situations. Will you nail it every time? Absolutely not. Every single person will handle it slightly differently. But it's important that you're kind to yourself and you go, do you know what? Did I do everything perfectly? No. Is there opportunities for improvement? Yes. What are those opportunities for improvement? This, and this. Great. Write that down, because as you evolve from advisor to assistant service manager to service manager, you're going to be coaching the people below you or the other advisors as they journey through life. You're going to be coaching them and mentoring them and training them. So you need to be able to master what you're currently doing. Operating out of a growth mindset is the only way for a high performer to be successful. The only way. And for those of you who are operating out of a fixed mindset, consider the opportunity to evolve. Consider, do you know what? I'm not going to feel sorry for myself. Do you know what? I am not going to be a victim in this situation. Do you know what? Did I make mistakes? Yes, I did. Is there opportunities for me to grow from them? Absolutely. Take the lead of your own life. Don't be a victim. Don't feel sorry for yourself. Grow from it. Missed takes are just that, missed takes. So I trust this was useful to you. Operating out of a growth mindset is going to allow you to accelerate in your career. Don't dwell on the negativity. Don't dwell on what you've done wrong. Dwell on what you could have done better and implement that next time. That's it for this session. Looking forward to our last one coming up shortly, and I will take you through that. And that has been today's session. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you took value from it. Share it with your colleagues, your peers, your manager, and make sure you're implementing. Make sure that you're not settling for mediocrity. Make sure you're always mapping to be the best that you can be. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.